All right, Bryce. It's finally time.
Yes.
It's been I believe it's been 7 years since the last Final Fantasy came out.
I'm opening the tome.
Are there crystals in there?
There's dust in here.
Is there a
moths.
guy? Is there a guy named Sid? Are there some light warriors?
There's a little spider in the tomes.
Yep. Final Fantasy XVI is finally out. Welcome back to Dojo, everybody. I'm Jeff.
Hi, I'm Bryce.
I'm Bryce. I'm trying as hard as I can.
Yeah.
To just come in here. I'm just gonna evaluate what I see.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing in a lot of bad juju energy, bad energy. I don't want to do that.
I think that is the best hack for this.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Hello.
What's going on?
We're starting with the fight.
Oh, okay.
We're starting with some fun stuff.
So this is actually a reversal of something that happens from time to time on Rage Select. Oh my goodness, where Bryce has played several hours of this game, but I didn't even play the demo. Like,
really?
I turned on the demo. I got mad that I couldn't skip this first cutscene, and then I turned it off, and I went about my business.
I didn't play the demo, but I have about 4 hours into this so far.
Okay.
So I couldn't spoil too much if I wanted to.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But I will say, I kind of wish I had played the demo. Hearing that, like, it was pretty much this opening sequence,
right?
Because
and then you could save your game and then just come back into it. Yeah, come back to it.
Mainly because I had a lot of stopping and starting.
Hello, fireball. Can I move?
No.
I can't really move. Just
not really.
Hold down the fireball button.
Or you can jam it. You can jam it, or you can hold it.
Oh, yeah. You kind of just... I don't even have to do very much. I can just hold it down. Evade!
But there's kind of a lot of tutorial stuff that I wish I had gotten a bit of a head start on. Because where I'm at now, I only feel like I'm just at the end of getting the tutorials, right? It's like, you can shop for things in the store.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's that kind of level of it sometimes, and I'm ready to get past that and just do a cool fucking game.
I'm a big fan. I think that I have a beef with a lot of tutorials in games, and I think a lot of times comes from specifically Square, and I think Tri-Ace kind of does this a little bit, where the tutorials go on for way too long.
Exactly.
You know, give me the basics, and then I will figure the rest out. He is just straight up Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's a Godzilla with horns.
And,
It was all a dream.
Well,
it was a story told by a madman, signifying nothing. Furies. I hear this shit's real it's real dramatic, right? It's real like Game of Thrones, very Shakespearean.
It's very dramatic.
The Nyasa to file, hey? Okay.
I applaud them for just kind of throwing you in here. I forgot that there's you just kind of get to start in the middle of in media res here, and this is actually kind of a good reminder of how the game starts.
Did they get these tattoos on like a dare? Were they like, all right, man, if we can finish this mission in 20 minutes, we'll all get dumb scissors tattooed on our face. We'll be the Scissor Brothers.
Very bold move to put a bunch of Kingdom Hearts shit on all of your guys' faces at the beginning of the game.
I was thinking today, I was like, why isn't there a comedy JRPG? Why can't I have one of these? It's like the I think you should leave of JRPGs. I want one of these guys to be the guy from I think you should leave or whatever.
The driving crooner.
Yes, exactly.
I love that the driving crooner is becoming a TikTok meme.
Oh yeah.
Someone has made a filter where you have your face side on and it puts the
driving
cigar, the fedora.
Hey man, I was gonna pee on that. It was gonna be cool.
Nah, we gotta go. We gotta get going.
It's our boy Clive, you know.
So
Clive.
How much do you know about the actual story of what's going on here?
I've watched a lot of trailers.
Okay.
There's crystals.
There are crystals.
There's Clive. There's stuff that happened. There's 3 time periods, I think. There's Clive is a kid, Clive is a teenager, and Clive is an old man, or something.
Something.
There's it's very anime. It's we've got 7 realms, and each realm has a king. Has a
mother crystal.
Has a crystal, and that crystal determines how they do. And then we're gonna probably have to go to all the different nations to assemble our crystal powers, which or something like that. I assume.
Come on, Wyvern.
Okay. Clive. Okay, there. Now I can move him. I had to move the camera first. That's a big sword. You figure you'd like, you know when you're in the airport, you're kind of like leaning to one side.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got some gameplay set. Okay, fine, man. I can figure it out.
I've done that before too. By the way, I bought a lightsaber at Dragon Con one year, and I thought I would bring it back in my luggage, in my carry-on, and did not realize that I was just hitting people and smacking people, and it was falling out even.
Wait, how big was the lightsaber?
It was like full size.
Okay. Did it? I guess it was like.
It didn't come apart. I never figured out how to take the actual hilt off of the plastic bit.
They're gonna have a party.
Hey.
It's a hug fight. Whoever hugs the most wins. All right, let's go, guys. Oh, that's not a hug. That's. Oh boy.
It's kind of the opposite. It's a gun.
Oh boy. Oh jeez. Look at all these particles. Oof. Oof. It's the big chickens. It's still a thing.
The chocobos. There's a certain bit of this where it's like, they have to have chocobos and moogles and shit in the game.
Sure.
Because it's Final Fantasy. But then to be like, get to your steed, and it's a
giant
big chicken. It's a big chicken with like eyeshadow.
Yep.
It's an important one.
Yeah. No. Sure.
So there's a little bit of that offness.
I do like the fact that they got a little Final Fantasy music in there. A little do 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 do. The Iron Blood, huh?
Yep. Do you know the dominants? Yeah.
Yeah. I can make some educated guesses.
There you go. All right.
I'm pretty sure that the dominants have something to do with the icons. And which have something to do with the crystals, which have something to do with the rulers of the areas. This is also a game that the Zernita Stronghold. This is also a game that has had. I feel like it's had more trailers than any other game I've ever seen in my life. So, fancy. He's a fancy guy. It's like Jason Momoa in Fast X.
This is these cutscenes are great, and you really feel the Game of Thronesiness of it all. It's a lot of these like chamber meetings, the indirect lighting.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
Why do I have all the windows closed? Like it's the middle of the day.
Because it's moody. This is a moody negotiation between.
Squire, open the windows to moody levels. Crack them a little bit so that they cast dramatic shadows. Ooh, it's a crystal. Wait.
It's a crystal.
It's like a beverage crystal. It's like a Sprite crystal. Oh, hey, look at that.
And
People smoking, getting wasted.
That's right. You got crystal drink. You got crystal Pepsi.
Yep.
You got crystal vape.
Crystal vapes. Gonna vape some Magica. Gonna vape some icons.
It is so funny every time watching this lady with her medieval fucking dad pen lighting up all the time.
It was the Dalmex who drove
The
back the
Daleks?
Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not?
Okay, I like that. I like it when somebody will say something, you can make some inferences. Sometimes they load up too many JRPG games or too many JRPG statements in the same sentence, and you're just like,
Has yet to take the field.
what the fuck that means, man?
Oh my goodness.
You brought it up.
I'm
Bobo.
excited for you to find a feature of this game.
Okay.
They will teach you. They will teach you about it in a few minutes. But the coolest feature in any video game is in this game.
Oh, okay.
We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their nights.
What did you say?
I'm gonna go fuck all of them.
Look how tall that guy is.
Oh my god.
The capital will lie.
They really did bring their own abobo. Is he smoking too?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
He's smoking
there's
like
a lot of cussing in the game.
Oh shit! I heard there was some boobies in here too.
I think there's
some
a
butts
sex
and boobies.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's my coffee. Oh jeez. Wow. I feel like I am watching a Fast and Furious movie.
Just leaves me.
Okay. Kupka.
Iron blood will rule the day.
Is Kupka an old Final Fantasy name? Like, there's a Cid that you meet pretty early on here.
There's Kefka.
Kefka. Okay.
He was the bad guy in 6. The best one. Somebody asked in my Discord, they were like, which one is the best Final Fantasy? And I like a lot of them, but I still think that 6 is my favorite.
I would like to play 6
Yeah.
because I have heard it's fantastic. I have a soft spot for 7 and 8. because settings wise,
What Final Fantasy game is this?
Benedict.
Oh. Oh. Hello.
and then up again. Ooh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Take care.
Square Enix, if you make me have to fucking put mosaics on things, I'm going to be really mad at you, okay?
Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're
Look how
mine.
big his head is compared to
I
hers.
know.
Like,
I know. He's got like
Afraid of a little
talk about a size queen.
like a quarter of her fucking torso.
This is fucking Leon Kennedy.
She looks like Zidane from Final Fantasy IX.
okay, yeah.
Once you say it, you can't unsee it. Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm a Zidane who vapes.
Zidane who fucks.
That's like, get fucked. Yeah.
Square Enix is like, what should we do for the next Final Fantasy? And somebody's like, hold on, I got an idea. Walks up the whiteboard and just and then like steps away and just says, Zidane what fucks. Everybody's like, brilliant. Can we sell NFTs?
Oh my gosh. Right.
Okay.
All right. So
Seems like that sword, Bryce. Okay, this is. I want anybody to fucking hit the downvote button until you finish hearing what I say.
okay.
Seems like that sword would be really hard to get out of that thing that's on his back because you're going to have to clear the whole back part of the sword before you can get it out. And it's so fucking long, you would have to have somebody else. You couldn't do that yourself. His arms aren't long enough. Like, you'd have to have your friend get it, unless it's got a little breakaway. But then you'd have to, like, reach back and buckle it again before you could put your sword away.
I would like to see the frame by frame on it because they make a point to like animate it coming out and fitting the various swords within that sort of sheath.
Okay.
Except funny enough, the DLC pre-order sword doesn't have a sheath, so it just kind of floats. But I feel like I remember seeing something that they try to make, but you're right. Like that point is way too high to his shoulder. But also, fuck you. This is fucking Final Fantasy. What the fuck? Come on. Like,
There's magical vaping, okay?
it took me a second. No, I'm not going to downvote button. What the fuck?
There's just a day that fucks in here, okay? Like, oh boy, hello.
Oh.
That's some fucking bling-tastic.
Talk about big fingers.
Oh my goodness.
Titan. So the Darmok's finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
Did you drool a little bit when you saw Titan? Is that what you gotta wipe that off there?
Like, man,
Oh, look. Is that Shiva?
that's a Shiva.
Yay! I always like it when there's a good Shiva in the game.
Is it a good Shiva?
I don't know. I don't know.
Shiva's-
Shiva's always my favorite
Yeah?
because she's like hot and does ice damage, and I like that shit. But then Final Fantasy 13 made her into a lesbian motorcycle, and that wasn't good or bad. It was just very weird.
If you were a
okay.
Final Fantasy boss, what would your main element be? Would you be ice? Are you an ice boss?
I would probably be a talking boss to have like a dialogue battle.
I think that's poison.
Okay. Yes. Doom is what it is. If you can't stop Jeff from talking after 5 turns, then all your party's going to die. That's what happens. We've tried everything. He won't shut the fuck up. He keeps putting out bad take after bad take. He keeps giving us all these weird status effects.
Your viewers click on a video and a timer just appears above their head.
Yep.
0-5.
Yep. Well, this doesn't seem like a fair fight. She's very wispy. She's a very wispy lady. She's got like ice legs.
Yeah.
Boom. That's okay. Hey, you know what? It's all very pretty. All looks really good.
Yeah.
And this is running in quality mode. Oof.
Yeah, there are other videos that examine the differences between these two modes.
I'm a little conflicted though, because I know that you're gonna have the icon fights, right? These are the icons. You're gonna have the icon fights, and like on the one hand, I kind of liked it when Final Fantasy when these characters were and there he go. Oh, okay, he just did a Phantom Menace to get away from that. But on the one hand, I liked it. I do like it when when Final Fantasy kind of makes these characters so powerful that it's like you can only like indirectly summon them, right? You can't like control them because they're just these titanic figures. On the other hand, wait, can I jump over that? Can I jump in there? No? Okay. On the other hand, Final Fantasy 15 made them so large that they were like weather effects. Yeah, like they weren't anything that you really felt like you had any control over. They were just kind of these like huge. I mean, I don't know. I never got to the end of Final Fantasy 15. I got bored.
So in this one, the short answer is that these different summons are people.
Right.
Who get blessed with the power of the
I'm going to take a screenshot of that subtitle and make it the thumbnail for this video. Just I feel like they really are enjoying the fact that somebody took the brakes off the swearing filter. They were just like, "Oh yeah, all right."
Oh wait, you just wait for it.
How many swear words do I know?
They So at least here there's like a human element to the summons.
Yeah.
Like someone is in some amount of control.
Right.
Which is why these militaries use them as weapons.
Because and I kind of got that. There was that demo. There was that long presentation they showed where they had. I think it was that lady turning into like it might have been Phoenix or something like that and fighting Clive. But like, so I know a lot of that stuff. This is all just sliding down. Whoa! Is that a buddy? Did he just get jammed?
Yeah.
He got jammed. I barely knew him, Horatio.
To jam or not to jam?
To jam or not to jam. I said, don't call me that. My name is Jim.
Ooh. It's
Okay.
Told you before, you do not get to die here.
Okay. All right. I mean, I would prefer not to, but. So these guys are not actually part of either one of the armies that are fighting the battle over there, right? Those are like
these are like operatives.
Okay.
I think the game calls them assassins.
Okay.
Anyway, wake up.
Young Clive. Hey, look, he looks so much better without that shit on his cheek. It's like a regular old person. I don't know.
Wait do you find out what that shit on his cheek means?
Whenever I 13 summers, just say 13 years ago, okay?
It's the
like
summers.
Rosalith, whenever they give me the option to put like facial tattoos on characters in video games, I'm like, nah, it's okay. I don't need that.
Oh sure.
I don't need built-in Joker makeup.
I feel like they should just put tattoos on a character. I'll live with it.
Yeah.
But don't make me the one to.
Don't ask me if I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to curse this virtual being to permanently have?
Wow,
your
that is
design
a
on?
tiny dog. Oh my God, he's so small. He's a small boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have gotten this far in the demo. This is where you do the combat tutorial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I do.
All right. So this is basically an action game.
Yeah.
Play it. Here you go. Here's a video game for you.
Hey.
But now, I think it's interesting doing this, like going basically entirely action, entirely one playable
Press
character.
to form melee attack. Up to 4 melee attacks can be chained together. Okay. Well, you know, I fucking love me some Elden Ring, so.
This is probably closer to a Tales of than an Elden Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this to be that customizable. I have seen some criticism saying that like there really isn't that much in the way that there's some customization, but it feels very like very cosmetic. Like that mainly you're just looking to like. Oh sure, I can do that. I don't know though. Like just like that. I think that what they were trying to say is like. Oh, you get a new weapon, and it's always just more powerful than your old weapon, and so you equip that. But there's not a question of like, well, what do I want to use, or how do I want to customize for more like damage? But a lot of that I think comes from the fact that I don't necessarily like the idea that it's just Clive, like it's just this one character, as opposed to the parties that you've had for a lot of the previous Final Fantasies. But you know,
I'll say as an outsider, or I don't know,
elude my blade. Okay,
I appreciate the focusing on a single character. I think that sometimes ensemble stories can sometimes create a lot of
Rossfield.
can create a lot of chattel, can make a lot of like filler moments. And you know, we're in this like what is the template for an anime styled RPG story, right? It's you have 3 characters who are like really good friends, and then you spend the rest of the game getting 5 or 6 more friends to build out a party, and then everybody needs to get a conclusion.
Sure.
I think this ends up being focused in a way that I understand that trade-off.
Okay.
But I get it. Like it is just a totally different way of playing the game. It's just it's an action game. You can only have 4 potions at one time, or at least at the beginning.
You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Always be closing. That's what Glenn Ross taught me. So,
I think they have a
Phoenix shift. The blessing of the Phoenix grants the ability to blah 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 blah. Circle button.
It's circle to teleport, basically. To, like enemy teleport.
Oh, but it always goes towards, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it puts you like in striking distance.
But even the most agile
Yeah.
And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Only one way to ensure
Listen, this guy's got a scar on his head.
Don't get hit by swords. Sure.
your energies replenished.
Okay. And your facial hair stupid.
You seem a little worse for wear.
This is. I think there's more to this
Yeah.
than there was in the.
In the demo?
The demo, I think. I don't know. I could be consumables. Okay, so we got those on the D-pad. Okay, so we can put things on the D-pad. We got the potions. We got some high potions. Okay. Sure.
Look at that. Lesson complete.
Yep.
Good work today, everybody.
Session of pivotal moments wherein life
I like to
It's
imagine.
a lot of talking.
It is a lot. It's a little bit.
What is this, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Do you have to explain for 45 minutes how you're going to hit me before we have a fight? Let's just have a fight already.
They need to have a toggle, like when you're picking your difficulty.
Yeah.
To say like, do you know?
Have you
how
played a
these
video
games
game
work a little bit? Or they should ask you like, would you like the full explanation?
Yeah.
A full detailing of how, because I think it's important that games teach you how to play them, especially when there are a lot of complex systems.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the games of the 80s and 90s and the early aughts, and like, you know, maybe that stuff was in an instruction manual, but a lot of times even
He's got his little back thing for his sword, even as a kid. Aw. Yeah, so I mean, like, the thing is that I'm not trying to be the biggest cliche of myself on the planet, but the thing that I was thinking about was like the way that like Elden Ring or Dark Souls does its kind of tutorial, where a lot of those games, like the difference between that and like a Final Fantasy or even previous Final Fantasies, like not even just this one, is that I feel like that game has it gives you kind of everything. Like it gives you all of your abilities are present, and then it just ramps the difficulty up a little bit at a time to give you, you know, you start out and you're starting by, wait, what is this? Hold down R2 and then do Rising Flames.
Yeah, there you go.
Rising Flame. Oh, he's just okay.
Yeah, it's a
stagger.
It's got a
man, Square has really been trying to make that stagger be a thing for a long time. Like I think that first started in 13.
yeah, I guess so.
Because you were really you more than trying to do direct damage, you were trying to do a lot of status stuff to get your opponent into a stagger state in order to really start stacking up the damage. Okay. I mean, hey, that was it was nice and fluid. Like I also like the fact that it was on the quality mode and it still felt relatively, it was like pretty solid 30 frames per second. It didn't seem to be like dipping down.
Yeah.
Because the trailers I've seen for this game have like 1 billion particles everywhere. So I was thinking about like I need to put this on performance just so I don't have to look at this many sparkles.
Yeah, it is. There are a lot of really impressive moments in this game. But you played 7 Remake, right?
Yeah.
This game kind of has that where you can tell like, okay, here's like the good stuff, and here's like the side quest stuff.
Yeah.
Like here's a, oh, we did cuts, we got voice acting and motion capture and facial capture for this scene. Mm-hmm. But for this one, we only recorded them saying like the first sentence.
Oh, sure, like you do. Yeah.
But it's not like an emotogrunt, right? It's not like, huh? It's like the wares that you have, like they actually
sure.
that's, but it's still strange because you still do feel that separation of effort, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So this is Joshua.
He's a very pretty girl.
He's your brother.
He's a very pretty brother.
And he's the Phoenix.
Wait, they're both Phoenix?
No, Joshua's the Phoenix.
But he said that Clive had the power of the Phoenix because he was shooting.
Clive has the blessing of the Phoenix.
Oh.
See, Clive was not born with magic, but he was allowed to have magic because of his brother.
Okay.
Yeah. which I think is actually setting the table. It sets the table in a pretty subtle way, kind of subtle way, kind of soft way, of this kind of caste system story.
Yeah.
Where you have, effectively slaves. But there's slaves because they can do magic. And so like, well, what's the difference between those people who are just open-faced slaves and like the character who can do magic also? It's I am excited for that kind of tale.
Sure.
But I don't know. It's a fantasy story.
But does it smell bad? Does he smell bad? It's like you smell like Phoenix.
Say to you, mother.
Oh, geez, fancy. Everybody's so fancy. Ooh. Oh, man. Ooh. I'm sorry.
Come, Joshua.
Sorry, I ate the two slices of pie last night.
Does Final Fantasy have a thing with like evil queens?
Because
I'm
trying to think back through. I think 8. I think the main villain in 8, right, was a lady.
Edea,
she was like
and
the
Ultimacia, sure.
Yeah,
she was the sorceress. But then you also like Final Fantasy 9. You had the queen as like a comedically antagonistic force at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Can be born the Phoenix.
But yeah,
I don't know.
Should join them.
I don't know. I have some gaps because I never finished 8. I never finished 9. I've done 4, 6, 7, 10, all 3 of the 13s. I think that the 13 sequels are wildly underrated. Like I think that not enough people played them, and that they're absolutely fantastic. And then I didn't like 15, so I stopped playing it. And 14, I played 11 for a little while.
you feel some of the 14-ness of this game too.
Yeah, well, it's the producer, right? It's
Yes.
Yoshi P.
But even things like the stagger system.
Sorry,
Right?
the giant chicken, man. It's also serious. The guy's riding a giant armored chicken.
Good chicken. Good chicken. Good chicken to you.
Do you think when they put him down, they send him to the chicken factory to like the KFC? Do they batter and deep fry their mounts?
Instead of the glue factory, they go to the.
Oh my God! Whoa! Can you imagine the chicken leg that you would get off of a chocobo deep fried? It would be like a Fred Flintstone chicken leg.
It would be bigger.
Woo!
It'd be like mutton.
Oh my God!
Yeah. It shrinks. Food shrinks when it cooks.
Yeah, not that much. Oh, look who it is. Okay. All right.
Make a fine hound one day.
Father.
It's a fantastic dress you have, Father.
Up your head, girl.
I love the apparel design in this game.
Big flowing coats.
Yeah. Put everyone in a dress. I'm for it. Let's go.
That's probably the best looking dog I've seen since Dee Dee in MGS5.
Wow. That's high praise.
Yeah.
The world's greatest virtual dog.
I guess there were some good dogs in like Red Dead 2. I'm trying to think the last time I saw like a really
The throne room. We will talk there.
realistic dog. I'm also a little bit blown away that like we spent 15 minutes with old Clive doing this whole thing in the middle of this battle, and then we flash back to this, and now it's like he's like, meet me in the castle later. I'm like, well, how long are we gonna be in this flashback? Like,
Yeah. it doggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pacing of this part is really interesting. I don't know. It's strange because storytelling wise, it is really abrupt.
Yeah.
To go from like high intensity action and a lot of like in media res storytelling, and then to jump 13 summers in the past,
Right.
to kind of really set the table again.
Yeah.
But by the time you get back there, which will not be that long, you will
Ooh, what's that? Sparkles.
know better about why.
Find
you
some items. So goddamn sparkly. Somebody's really proud of their sparkle tech.
It's also, you don't have to do a lot in this game.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's kind of a good thing. You know, like that item you picked up, you didn't have to hit a button to do it.
Sure.
There are in-map checkpoints.
Sure.
They obelisks, and even in the tutorial, they're like, when Clive can teleport directly to obelisks when he attunes with it.
Right.
He only needs to approach it to attune it. No button is necessary.
That brings up a really interesting question that I've had for a long time, which is like, you know, sometimes making additional inputs, making the player do something like hit a button to pick something up. Like if you just streamline it so that you just pick everything up, a lot of times like the lack of any kind of input starts to then create more distance between the player and the world to a point where it starts to feel less immersive because you're like, you know, all I have to do is just kind of hold this button down and I just hoover up all the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of why I like games a lot of times that will do like that'll make you do like button prompts to just pick up this thing and then take the cap off of the pen and then put the like make you do a little series of events in order to feel like you're interacting with the world.
David Cagey.
Yeah, not maybe. Yeah, that's maybe like it's a good example. It's a good example. Not my favorite.
This is very much on the opposite side of that spectrum.
Yeah.
Of like this is weird advice, I would say, because I'm a type of person who wants to, especially with the way how RPGs are made. Like I want to try to make sure I don't miss anything.
Sure.
I want to try to at least give everything a once over.
Yeah.
But I think like the best version of this game or these opening segments of this game is just keep plowing forward, keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And keep seeing what they're showing you. And taking it in because the exploration and stuff, there's not a lot here.
Yeah.
And it really just makes you go like, oh, okay, I kind of I'm going and finding and touching all the walls and I know where they're at.
Right.
Like the fact that this game doesn't have a mini map, at least in the 4 hours I saw, is really cool because you go from what is probably not any less linear of a design.
Yeah.
Of compared to like Final Fantasy 13, but I just remember playing 13 and like you have this mini map of corridors and why?
Right.
For what? There's only one way for me to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Don't just jump right in. Don't worry about it. There's going to be a lot more game. It's just some weird advice to give, I guess.
Jesus, guy, just say it's he's one day away from retirement. Why don't you? It's medieval Game of Thrones. Nothing bad will ever happen to you, brother. Like, okay, sure, it won't. Some gates require extra Oh, okay. Press X and then press or hold R2 to pull with all of your might. Ooh, yeah.
You know what? I take it all back. I forgot about those. I forgot that the game tells you that. Yeah, sorry. There's like actually quick time.
As long as it's not. Okay. All right. Get out of here. As long as it's not the X. As long as it's not the God of War like jam on the X button for 1,000 minutes to open the door, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And then these guys just open it with one hand. Whatever, okay.
They didn't even hold down the R2 button. I don't even know where their R2 buttons are. Oh, wait a minute. Is that shit that was on his cheek? Is that the emblem of the thing?
Oh, was
the
it?
things on the walls? I think those banners had...
All right, you can
stop licking my boots. Mother isn't here.
Oh, gee. Is this the kind of dad that wants you to call him by his first name?
No, he recognizes that, like,
Under a pall of black.
Clive doesn't get treated well by
Okay.
his mother.
Okay.
The blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
The Blight. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
Available bed in the capital is
I'm just kind of surprised we got to buy the flames and not like, fuck, that fucking sucks, Dad. Jesus. Or
He's
wait,
still a
who-
good kid. He's got to grow
Who
up
would
to
be
be a...
Jesus? Phoenix wept. My God, Father.
I think that's what they mean by the flame.
Yeah.
A little bit. By the flame.
Well, I just say that they should just put Jesus in here as a summon, right? It's just like you've got Bahamut, you've got Shiva, and then Christ, and then
Sure.
you just bring him out.
They do have Odin.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
got Odin. Quetzalcoatl is
yeah. It's a South American or like Mayan
Central
or
American.
yeah.
I think even Shiva. I
The
think might have-
destroyer. That's from Indian.
India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Even
From
though she's
Indian,
been
Jesus Christ, we're
it's
doing
been
great.
made into a weird ice lady.
right for Phoenix Gate tomorrow.
Cool.
There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Great.
I love the words.
Huzzah.
My favorite podcast.
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney,
Go to Starbucks and get me a coffee. Cafe latte.
I like a pink drink and a pop cup.
Eastmen from the north being sighted within our
Why did you come all the way down here to tell me these things?
He's debriefing him. He's briefing him about the Stillwell marshes.
Can go. Wait a minute. We gotta go. Gotta go fight goblins. Goblins?
Yeah.
Gonna be a goblin slayer?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, okay, you got me on that one.
See, this is the problem with having pre-played the game, right? You're never entirely sure. You're like, I know what happens, and I desperately want to tell you, but I don't want to tell you, but I can't tell you.
to prove your strength and shut your mother up for good.
Yeah, what does she know? Stupid mom. Okay, let's go kill goblins.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
Please, please, your grace is my father.
No, your grace is my father. We could Abbott and Castellato bit.
Your Grace.
He's the king is really kind of man spreading on his big throne.
Oh my god, that's why you have a throne. It's a single occupancy.
Hold to activate the active time lore. Oh, is this what you were talking about?
This is what I was talking about.
The thing that it's like, hey, what the fuck is that again? And then you could be like, who was my dad? And then it'll tell you, and it'll be like, this is the
And they update as you play the game.
The mother
It's
crystals.
So great. It is the best idea. More games need to have this. Get off your duffs. Make it.
Retire to your chambers. Okie dokie. Wee! Wah! Woo! I'm gonna take a little skip. Wah! Woohoo!
I love that you did exactly what I did, which is go to the exact wrong door on the wrong
What the
side.
fuck? I guess I gotta go up these stairs. Like they're like, go to your chambers. I'm like, oh, I don't know where that is. I just got here.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be behind the king. How am I going to go behind the king? He's the fucking king.
When you said that, I thought you meant my little skip jumps.
Oh, no.
Hey, buddy.
No messages, my lord.
Oh, okay, cool. They give you a jump button, but you really don't jump very high in
The
this
jump
game.
is not very high, no. It's more, and it's weird because there are moments where like you do jump, but it auto jumps.
Yeah.
So like, but no, you jump for, there's some jump, you can use jump in combat.
Okay. Oh. I love a milkshake at night before I go to bed. Banana shake.
Look at these PJs. I would rock that as
It's like
as a
executive pajamas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is that a Phantom Menace? You got Dooku. Is that?
Yeah. That's a guy.
That's a guy.
Taking Joshua.
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the
I don't like that his bangs are completely glued to his head.
Phoenix Gate, it's our way.
Unless there's like a lore reason for that. Like you put in the crystal mousse in his hair.
Taking Joshua.
It lasts forever.
The fuck did he just say? A poditary?
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Elwyn.
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him.
Oh, boy.
He's a youth of but 15 years. He's already a fine soldier.
Is Clive a bastard? Is he the bastard son?
Him than the Phoenix did.
Oh.
He was rejected, Elwyn.
Oh. Phoenix was like, no way, man.
For such a failure. He is worthless. A man like any other.
Look at that. You're so
All right,
lady,
Mom.
come on.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
Wait,
What
what?
a very expository way to tell that to your spouse. As you know,
Wait, why is he all... Wait, okay. This is a hereditary kingdom. His dad was the king.
Yep.
He was his dad's son.
Yep.
His dad died.
but he was not the Phoenix.
But he's not the... Okay, yeah, I guess I'm still not entirely clear
So
on
you-
like what that is.
You have to be born into it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Um,
so you could be like royal lineage, but then you also have to be chosen
You
by
have to
the...
be reincarnated. Yeah.
Okay, great. Great.
We have an early start.
You guys just try setting the babies on fire. It'd be a lot easier to figure it out. Just be like, nope, that's not it. All right, honey, come on. We got to have another one. Okay.
So how are you feeling? How are you feeling after?
I feel the thing is that it would be stupid. I have a life credo, a life philosophy that is, if you just keep doing the definition of insanity, right? Like that whole thing,
Doing the same thing over and expecting different results.
Yeah, I have my beef with the way that thing is worded, but by the same token, it's like Square Enix has done nothing. Square Enix. Like 70% of JRPGs are incredibly way too expository. They don't get you into the action. They seem to think that if they let you do anything before 4 hours have passed, that you're going to be mad at them, right? That you're going to be like, what the fuck? I don't even know why I'm swinging a sword at a goblin unless you explain the politics of this world to me for 6 episodes before I get into it. So like, I would rather just be trying out what seemed like it actually, I think it's a little bit of a detriment where it's like, here's some combat and you're like, oh, this seems fun. It's like, great, now stop. Now go talk to your dad and let him say a billion things about like you and your lineage and the Phoenix and the thing, and it's like, but I want to do a thing, man. Like if I wanted to watch Game of Thrones, I would just open up the Max app. Like,
okay. I see that. Like
Yeah.
I do see that. Like because the pacing is a little whiplashy like that.
yeah. Especially all that action stuff at the beginning. It feels like what it feels like is there are a lot of JRPGs, or there's a lot of games, not even just JRPGs, that start with like, here's the big explosive beginning, right? To show you like what are things going to be like eventually. And a lot of times, like when I feel like when that first started to become a thing, it was to show you like, this is what you're going to be like, this is what the end game is going to be like, to give you a real like, oh, I'm working towards this type of thing. But I feel like a lot of games, especially very story-focused games, not just Square, but a lot of games do this, where they'll still have the big bombastic beginning, but they don't even let you play. Right? Like I feel like in an older game, you would be playing in that giant battle at the beginning. Like they had the Phoenix Ifrit fight.
Right.
That was just completely out of context, right? Like, it just, I mean, like...
yeah.
And then we had the Shiva Titan fight. And it was like, whoa, holy shit. And then we had the guy got jammed, and we had the big escape. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to teach you how to fight. And it was like, great. And it's like, now we're... Jesus, she needs to put on a sweater. Like...
I think that's... I see the argument there.
Yeah.
You know,
I just think that there are other games that do it better. I think that Persona is way better at like getting you into the game
Really?
a little bit. I do. Like,
Okay.
At least I don't know. It switches around. Maybe I'm conflating it in my mind, but like, or maybe it's just because I was more interested in what was happening in Persona.
I think if you can get into the headspace of the game,
Yeah.
If you can get past that sort of whiplash, I think the story here that they tell is good. I think it's the beginning chapter of a game.
Sure.
But
I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I also think that the storytelling is a level above other titles. That mean that all of that stuff, you're right. Like it is still a kind of a wonky time appropriation between in this opening section, but it's not like you're being.
Oh my God!
You've got filler.
These guys
right?
are horny as hell.
Like this is not a spoiler. You're gonna go do goblin stuff, and that goblin stuff is not filler.
Sure.
You're gonna go do a bunch of other stuff that's just not filler.
Yeah.
It's just small.
Yeah.
Blessing of the crystals go with us and shield the firebird's flame forevermore.
Because and honestly, you can't.
Open the gates.
There's no good way to set that opening bit into context. Like, this is better than like having to stop and explain, like, or not explain even, but but to even continue going down where that path goes.
Yeah.
At that part of the story, they are ready to go on to the next part of the story. It is actually very infuriating because guess what? You're going to have to do that opening sequence again, and it's longer.
Oh, look, it's fucking.
You got chips.
Great. It's got a real Eric Estrada thing going
Right?
on. I think that it would be worth like talking to JRPG developers to be like, your player should never be going more than about 30 or 40 minutes without the ability to do something like something, not like it doesn't have to always be like a boss fight or combat or things like that.
And I think
something.
And I think if you look at, and I think if you talk to a modern story designer, they would say like that's kind of why you have a lot of like start, walk 10 feet, and then another cutscene. Like there is like. That's like the middle ground at the moment. Well, we can put these breaks in between the cutscenes and make you look around a 3D space for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of JRPG development that could, and a lot of it probably just has to do with the fact that with the way that the Japanese storytelling is done, and a lot of it I think also comes from the pedigree of JRPGs. That a lot of like JRPG fans will get mad if you. If you push it too fast, because I don't see anybody but me fucking complaining about this stuff, and every time it happens, like it's the thing is I don't want to get I don't want to be like too grousy about it because I know it's going to happen, so I get mad about it every time. It would be stupid, but by the same token, I wish the developers would be like, hey man, I bought this to play a video game, and like you could do something where you give me a little bit of something to do and then come back with some more exposition and then do a little bit more and then come back with some more exposition.
I think maybe this is getting into the weeds a little bit, but I get this with TV shows and stuff sometimes too, because we cover TV shows and stuff on other podcasts, and I kind of
lost in a fog.
I get a similar thing with like Game Pass stuff where it's like I like to try and start new games a lot.
Yeah.
I like to, see what's available and try to get the most out of these things. But that also means you go through a lot of tutorials and a lot of beginnings.
Yep.
Similarly, you go through a lot of first episodes of shows and you realize like, we have all these bits of data that we have to write in an expository way that isn't just stopping and saying, hello, this is Clive. I've got some shit on my face.
Right.
Like, there's an art to even getting it this far.
To Gil. Why even bother at that point? Don't pick that up, Clive. Come on.
You're in an abandoned marsh.
Yeah. Anyway, I think there is an art to tutorialization. Yeah. I think I like it better when they just kind of throw you in the deep end, and then let you get used to it, because especially like when it comes to replaying games. Ooh, those are some skinny goblins. Somebody needs to get those goblins a sandwich.
A goblin sandwich. What's on a goblin sandwich? Is it pork?
Probably. I don't know.
Is it long pork? Is it human?
I'm not as familiar with the internet's with goblin mode, what it is, where it came from. So I don't know. These guys, they seem like they've gone full goblin mode.
Oh yeah, these guys are on a big rot day.
As I understand, goblin mode appears to just be whatever you just do whatever the fuck you want, regardless of how gross or crazy it is.
It's there's like an indulgence to goblin mode. I mean, would you say you've gone goblin mode?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. See, I think that I used to be a little bit more. I used to be probably a little bit more goblin-y, but that over time I've started to get a little bit more anal retentive because I found that if I just keep my house clean and organized, that it's a nicer place to live.
Yeah.
But
so you've graduated from goblin mode. You're like an arch goblin now.
Yes. Like what's bigger than a? I'm trying to think of how Final Fantasy would designate goblins. Anyway. We got to wrap this up. We're almost at an hour here, but I'm glad that we're here. We're doing stuff. All that stuff that I just complaining about. Boop. Hey, look, we're doing stuff. Great. So, hey, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Maybe go to patreon.com/RageSelect. Helps out. Kick us some bucks. Get some bonus videos. Get access to the Discord server. I keep talking about it. I don't want to like put too fine a point on it, but. I've done a couple of I did one like impromptu like live stream on the Discord, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Whereas it was less like this, and it was more just like this is what it's like when I actually play a game, and I'm not going to try to make jokes and mug as much.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. Also,
fun.
There's a couple of other things that I'm. Okay,
hey,
right.
Did you know items are on the ground, and you don't have to do anything?
Apparently not.
We just need to stop everything and let you know.
What? Oh yeah, I forgot that whole thing. It's got the double dodge. Let's see, the rising flames.
Oh right, because you have an evade, which is different than the Phoenix.
You can parry. Okay. Oh, the parry is also your attack button? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's all timing.
So it's just like, oh shit. Motherfucker. He's trying to parry.
He's trying to parry his goblins.
Yep. Anyway, patreon.com/RageSelect. Bonus videos, Discord access, and the wonderful feeling to know that you have helped Rage Select to survive another day. So those are 3 good reasons. Bryce, tell the fine folks where they can find you when you're not over here helping me play the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you can find my current thing is Marbles. That's the big thing I'm doing right now. The website's marbles.win. It's a live community racing stream, so you get to join the chat and
sorry, I was laughing at that. I was laughing at like that. You got to put your sword away in order to kick these boards out of the way. Yeah,
so check that out, please.
Where can people find that?
Marbles.win. It's a Twitch stream thing, so check it out. We're doing Thursdays right now. We're just about to wrap up our 6th season, and we'll start a 7th one very soon. So
there you go.
Make sure you join us.
Yep, check it out, and then check it out. Come back here tomorrow. We're gonna play some more Final Fantasy.
This wasn't the final one?
This wasn't the final one. I'm assuming that because we're in a place where I can actually hit the sword button and get the sword out, that we might actually do something next time. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you tomorrow.